The Buffalo Bills have just added another wide receiver to the mix today with Elijah Moore, the former high draft pick of the New York Jets and most formerly of the Cleveland Browns. A good route runner, a guy who can create some separation in the intermediate and short routes, but also a guy who's a playmaker after the catch, very fast, very elusive, and a guy I was really high on coming into the draft process. Now, ultimately has never played with a good quarterback. If we're being completely honest, has just had some really bad quarterback options, and now that he's playing with Josh Allen, expect this dude to potentially break out next year. But what I wanted to do in this video was break down everything you need to know about Elijah Moore, who he is, what he adds, and why I think this could potentially be a big time pickup here. Now, again, one of my favorite things about him is just get him the ball early and let him work in space. Right here, we see these linebackers pressed backwards. This is a guy in Elijah Moore where you just want him to get over that middle on a shallow cross or a quick slant, or an in or an out, right? Get him over the middle, get him out on the outsides, and let him work after the catch, right here. Get him into that open space, find him early, and let him turn up the field and try to create some extra yards after the catch, right? So right away, I look at him and Khalil Shakir and Josh Palmer and Keon Coleman and, the entirety Curtis Samuel of this wide receiver room, and I'm excited because now that you have a lot of weapons, a lot of guys who add different type of things to your offense with Josh Allen. Now, when you talk about where he fits into the offense, he is a typical slot receiver. He's not big enough to play an outside boundary type of guy, and someone you're not going to want to throw 50-50 balls to, but again, is very good at running routes. Look at this. He's going to stop right behind the linebacker, cut inside on the dig, and then sit in the openness of the defense. Comes down with it. Good possession receiver in most situations, and again, I think him playing with a guy like Josh Allen is going to benefit him tremendously. Now, again, I'm not saying he's going to be a day one starter for them. I'm not saying he's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver, but to have him as wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 4, and obviously he had top-end talent coming out of the draft, this is a guy that I would, again, not be surprised at all if he ends up having a big year, right? His biggest year. I would not be surprised one bit. And again, when you look at the depth chart right now, you have Keon, who's an outside receiver. You have Josh Palmer, who's a little bit bigger. You have Khalil Shakir, who's in that slot. And then you have Curtis Samuel. I think he's going to slot in right in this little area as another slot receiver that can come in and just add another maybe gadget guy. Maybe line him up in the backfield at some occasions if you want to use him as like a pass catcher out the backfield. Again, a lot of versatility, a new dynamic. But now you look at this wide receiver room, and I feel like you really can't complain. You have 3 guys that they really like, including Keon, Palmer, and Khalil Shakir. You bring in a guy in the 7th round in Prather. Who is he ready to play right now? Probably not, which is why you go out and add an Elijah Moore. You have Laviska Shenault, who is also a really high pick a decent amount of years ago. So you have more potential there as probably a punt returner, kick returner. And then you have Curtis Samuel and Elijah Moore. So again, I love the depth that this team has right away. Now, what's even crazier is right when Deshaun Watson got hurt and they decided to put Jameis Winston in the game and, be the starting quarterback, you started to see Elijah Moore start to sizzle more, right? He started to pop out more, and, it looked like he went from maybe a 1C option to a 1B option, and he was starting to become a really good wide receiver with a different quarterback behind the center in Jameis Winston. So look at this route, look at the head swivel here, acts like he's gonna run inside. Again, you're gonna see him get to the top of his route, swivel, and then boom, get to the outside. He breaks down this corner extremely well. Watch this, right? Boom, he's gonna plant that foot, swivel his head to the inside, kind of break down that corner, and boom, look at how easy he's able to beat him to that sideline. I really like him. And you pair him up with Josh Allen, I think this could be a unbelievably high potential type of addition here for the Buffalo Bills. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. It's a 1-year, $5 million contract, so it's a low risk, potential high reward opportunity here for Buffalo. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications, and comment down below P2 if you want me to break down the entire Buffalo Bills draft class with film analysis. Let me know in the comments by commenting down P2, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.